Welcome to Senior Insights. My name is Cynthia. Come on in, grab a seat. It's kind of crowded in here because I've got stuff all over the place. I'm trying to get ready for something, and I've got my watercolors over there. I've got dishes on my counter, but we're friends. You can find a spot. And today we're going to talk about autumn or fall, whatever you want to call it. I used to call it fall when I was a kid, and now it seems as though it's autumn. I don't really like the word fall because I don't want to fall. And when I hear fall, that's what I think of. Have you had bad falls? We're all fall risks. So I'm going to encourage you to use the word autumn instead of fall, because I've had some serious falls. I had one fall that I broke 5 ribs. 5. It might have been 6 because I probably forgot. I had another fall that I crushed my shoulder, and then I fell again. So I had 3 broken arms at one time. So anyone who's elderly, anyone who's on medication is a high fall risk. Anyone who's getting up in the middle of the night like you all are because you told me you don't sleep good are fall risks. So we're going to call it autumn. I didn't really ask you, but I think that that's what we should call it because I don't think that we want to talk about falls yet. Fall teaches us a lot of things. If you look at those trees, we talked about them last week or a few videos ago, and I was complaining that I had to get rid of all the leaves in my yard, and I showed you a picture of the leaves. And I also showed you a picture of the trees. And we all came to the conclusion, most everyone who commented, was that we love the beautiful trees. We like the colors. We like the red, the orange, there's still some green, some browns. We like those. And then what happens is those trees let go of their leaves and they come down just like this. And they float down and they float down and then they land on the ground. But they don't shake their head and have all the leaves fall at once. They let go of 1 leaf at a time, or 2 leaves, or 3 leaves, but not the whole tree. They take their time. And what they're doing by getting rid of those leaves is they're preparing that tree for the winter and for the spring, for new leaves. So, what does that tell us? They let go of those leaves without no drama, no guilt. They just let them go. Maybe we could learn something from that. Maybe it's time for us to drop a few of our own leaves. And I bet we have lots of them. Because no matter how much we talk about it, lots of times we don't do anything about it. And so we still have those leaves that are cluttering up. They're cluttering it up our house. They're cluttering our minds. They're making us forget things. Do you know that when I was making my tea, I couldn't find the sugar? I keep the sugar in the same place. It's not in a cabinet. It's on top of the stove, on the top of the, that shelf on the top of the stove. Well, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. And I looked and I looked and I looked. And lo and behold, it was maybe 10 inches over from where I usually keep it. It was actually camouflaged. No, it was in plain sight. But I was starting to freak out. I'm saying, this is happening way too many times for me to really like this. But I found the sugar and I put it in my tea and now I'm fine. But maybe, just maybe, I'm having some of these memory lapses, and you're having some of those senior moments because, don't kid me, you told me that you lose your keys. Some people have alarms on their keys, and you lose your glasses and they're on top of your head, all that stuff. That's because we're all in this same boat together, and the time is flying by. This is another fall, and you know what? We are not the same as we were last fall. I know I'm not. Are you? Just stop and think about it for a minute. I am totally different than I was last fall. And I don't want to go back to that. So, it's not about loss, but we're going to talk about that word decluttering. We're going to talk about that word declutter again. I was in my closet because, I'm going, never mind, I'm not talking about the trip. But I went in the closet and I found this purse. And I used to love that purse. It was a Cole Haan leather purse with a purple lining, and it was black leather. It was absolutely gorgeous. My sister bought it for me. I never could have afforded that myself. It was all moldy. So I picked it up and I threw it in the trash, and then I brought the trash to the dumpster. I thought I was going to die there for a minute, but I'm over it now. It had to go. It was all mold. And I got sick of it because it was a huge, big thing. But it's not, letting go isn't about loss. It's really about what's next. What's next? So when we talk about autumn, let's look at it as an opportunity to reset some of the things that we need to reset. We talk a lot about it. We talk a lot, but we don't walk the walk. We have to start doing that. Anyway, the leaves on the trees. We talked about them last week. And I said, I can't stand the leaves on the trees because I have to clean them up. And then I showed you a picture of them. And many people talked about how they really still enjoyed going leaf peeping. Some people said that they enjoy the crunch of the dry leaves on the ground when they're walking, if they were going for a walk or a hike or whatever. I don't know how many of us are capable of hiking, but so I thought about it, and I said, well, if we're talking about reset, what can a tree teach us? And I think the tree can teach us a lot, because the tree is green in the summer, mostly, and then it gradually starts to change colors. And then it's orange and red and brown and some green. Sometimes the green doesn't always go away. And then it starts to drop the leaves. And the leaves come down and they just go very slowly at first. And then you have a windy day and you get more and they land on the ground. But the tree doesn't get rid of all their leaves, all their stuff instantly. They take their time. And they take their time so that we can enjoy the foliage, so that we can have fun jumping in the leaves and raking the leaves and painting leaves and drawing leaves in the autumn. And they actually will leave one or two leaves on the tree. So when we're talking about resetting, maybe we could learn something from the trees, like maybe we could drop a few of our own leaves, like grudges, like hurt feelings, like a junk drawer that has stuff in there from the 1950s, stuff like that. Like today, It's not, letting go is not about loss. It's about making room for what's next. So that's what it's all about. Isn't that profound? You don't get college level lectures here, do you? But it's simple common sense. It's simple, simple, simple. Now, with the decluttering, just like in the spring when we do spring cleaning, you want to give your home a little refresh. Not too much, because I don't want you to get all worked up about it. Change the throw pillows, light a candle. Suddenly it feels and it smells like comfort. And that's what autumn does feel like, with the pumpkin pie spice and the soups and the stews and the breads and all that stuff that we tend to eat. How about pumpkin roll? Who likes pumpkin roll? That's the thing that you usually have at Thanksgiving, but I like pumpkin roll. And I told you I made pumpkin spice ice cream. It's growing on me. I still have some because I'm not madly in love with it like I am with vanilla and chocolate. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. This is something that I'm going to do, and I would suggest you consider it too. I'm sure that you have a favorite spot that you sit in all the time, your favorite chair. I told you mine has indents for my butt on my chair. And clean up that area, just that area. You know, wipe the coffee rings off the end table. And maybe vacuum your chair and then throw a different blanket on it, so that maybe an orange blanket or a brown blanket or a plaid blanket or something different to make it different. Organize your books. Maybe pile them nicely instead of every which way. You know, make a design with your books or something. Put a candle there. My friend Gay, I talk about her all the time. She got the cutest little candles from Amazon. They come in a set of 9 or 10, and they're maybe this high, and they're plastic. I mean, if you look close, they're kind of not the best, but they look beautiful. And then they have a gold, one of those mini lights going around on the inside, and they have a candle flame on the top, and they have remote controls, so you can set them for 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, or something all around the clock. But anyway, she put them all through her house, and they are beautiful. They put a nice ambiance in her home, a warm, welcoming, cozy ambiance. For those of you who don't like the smelly candles, or you're afraid of candles, or you live in an apartment when you're not allowed to use candles, think about getting some of those. I'm going to ask her whereabouts she found them on Amazon, or maybe I'll put a link to them. So look and see if there's a link. I mean, if you're interested. I wish I had one here that I could show you, because it's really neat. So back to the whole thing that I'm talking about is cozy up your space. Maybe just use one of those candles. Give the rest as Christmas gifts. They're actually quite nice. The light is very delicate, and it kind of glows. She accidentally ordered 2 things, and I was going to buy them from her, but I have so much stuff here. I'm trying to declutter, you know, but I really want those lights because I liked them. I thought they'd be really pretty around. But what does that have to do with? Well, it's a reset. It's something that she didn't have, something that she did for herself for the autumn, and it had a positive impact on her home and the way her house looks from the street and all that. It even acts as a nightlight. So sometimes a tidy space brings a tidy mind. But it's not just our home that needs a reset. It's our mind, and it's our habits. We need to look at those things and see what our habits are first, and what's going on in our mind that we can get rid of, that we can declutter. Do something different, like my friend Debbie Sue. She did a video the other day, and she was sitting on her porch swing having a cup of tea, and it was freezing. It was cold, but it was very pretty, and the air was crisp and beautiful, and the background was all colored trees that hadn't all dropped their leaves, and she was having a cup of tea, and she was as snug as a bug in a rug. She says she's not going to stay long, but she feels that it's important to get out, to smell the fresh air, get a different change of scenery. And really, and I would add to that, and look at the creations that God has made, that's given us. We need to take advantage of those things, even if it's for 5 minutes. Sit outside, shiver. A lot of people will say, oh, it's too cold out. It's too cold out. I can't be in the cold. Well, put a sweater on, put a jacket on, put a hat on. Listen to me talk. Do I do that? We'll see. I'll report back to you if I ever do that. But I think the porch swing idea is a great idea with a cup of tea. And we spend years collecting stuff and collecting memories. But as I said before, we're not the same as we were last year. And maybe this year we can let go of a little bit more leaves or stuff. Like, how about learn a new craft? We have people that come to this channel, Vicki O'Sullivan. She does crafts. She does beautiful journals. Journaling is the latest fad, I'm telling you. I haven't done it. You make junk journals, or the making of the journal is one thing, and then journaling is another thing. So that could be a new habit. You know, that gratitude journal that we always talk about. Start doing that. Or just make a junk journal with all the junk you have. You have tons of junk because you have probably crafty stuff that you've had, and you can throw it all together. Although I tried to put a few cards together yesterday with my junk pieces of watercolor paper that I watercolored. I have no sense of design. So I made one that I was satisfied with, and then I threw the rest of them away. So it was a waste of time and a waste of money. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, get another hobby. Like Kentucky Life with Debbie, she's telling everybody, doodle, doodle, doodle. Make some doodles. You get lost in doing the doodles. It doesn't require any effort. It doesn't require any skill. Maybe like you'd be intimidated by doing watercolor. And you concentrate and you forget what's on your mind. It's a form of meditation, I would think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have enough crafts. I have enough stuff to do any kind of craft. But read a book. How many times... Well, did you read a lot when you were a kid and then all of a sudden you don't read anymore? Pick up a book that's really good and you might get addicted. I'm reading one a day, one every 2 days sometimes, because I have to do videos, and now they're calling me to do interviews. Did you see that interview? It was pretty good. We had a lot of fun. Rhonda's a really great woman. She's much classier than I am, but she's very sophisticated, I think. So, back to that space that I told you to create, your space. Make it a haven free from external pressures. And yeah, clean out that junk drawer that has rubber bands and birthday candles and all that stuff that you haven't looked at. That's easy. You can do that sitting in your chair. You don't have to do anything else. Sometimes a little order around us brings a lot of calm within us. And that's what we need. I can't stand to feel anxious or feel pressured or anything like that. I can't. I can't stand it. It makes me crazy. So, do some emotional decluttering and let go of what's weighing you down or somebody that you resent or something you said. It's over, it's gone, it's in the past, let it go, let it go. Just like those leaves, one at a time, get rid of something, get rid of something. So, fall is a time to reset yourself, to reset a little spot in your home, to reset your brain, to learn a new skill, to learn a new habit. Change your habit. If you watch, well, don't change your morning habit from coming for coffee. I'm not saying that. I'm but if you have a snack at 2 o'clock, how about making it 3 o'clock? Just tweak it up a little bit. If you brush your teeth first and then wash your face first, brush your teeth. Just shake up the system a little bit. And the more you use your brain, like doing that doodling or learning a new craft or doing Sudoku or whatever, is hopefully holding dementia and forgetfulness at bay. So this was supposed to be about Autumn Reset, but it was a mishmash of stuff. You know why? Because I did the outline and I had it all prepared, and I said, you know what? I am not doing this. It sounds rehearsed. It sounds like somebody else wrote it. So nobody else wrote it. I said it right from here. So what I want you to do is think about is there something that you want to let fall away this season? A habit, a thought, a worry. Do you always do negative self-talk? Maybe you say, I can't do that, I can't. Maybe eliminate the word can't. Let us know in the comments, because we'd love to know, because we can all learn together, because we're in this boat together. So, without further ado, I am going to say, I can't find, here's to a peaceful and beautiful autumn with letting go of your leaves. I'll see you tomorrow. Come back and I'll tell you something equally as profound. The universal feeling of autumn's arrival, crisp air, changing leaves, and a natural pull inward, often mirroring a quiet desire for change after a busy summer.